sail on day one of our crossing of the Gulf of Carpentaria. We're all pretty apprehensive about it as we've heard some pretty ordinary stories of late. So fingers crossed that our crossing is much nicer than the people that have been before us. We just don't know what to expect. We seem to be bobbing along pretty nicely at the moment though. So the guys we've got the head sail up and they're just bringing up the code 0. The winds are pretty light at the moment, so we put the plotter back on and now they're just going to run that right up there so we're ready in case the winds stay like this, because we'll probably put the main up soon and the code 0 instead of the head sail. So that'd be nice if we can use the code 0 instead of the head sail. Means the winds are nice and light, which is what we're sort of hoping for. Means maybe there won't be as much swell, but anyway, I'm going to get this up. Lawrence on the winch. Lucas is just down there going to guide that up to make sure it doesn't run into anything or get caught on anything. And we're up. Bug's watching her iPad, keeping her amused. And little boo-boo's back there sleeping. Sleeping. Goodness, hopefully it stays like this. This will be pleasant if it does. It's nice and calm out there. Way up. Kids, Boo-Boo up there and Hudson and I are inside. So we're officially in the Gulf of Carpentaria. A little bit choppy, but not too bad. Not as much wind as we sort of thought, which is, I guess, is a good thing. We've got the full main up and code 0 out at the moment. So yeah, we're just sort of pottering along quite nicely. Hudson and Boo-Boo were upstairs, for probably two and a bit hours this morning actually, so that was quite a good stint for them. They're obviously trapped in a seat and Boo-Boo's tied off, and yeah, so there's only so long that they will tolerate doing that, which I completely understand. So even though it's a bit lumpy and bumpy and Bud can't run around down here, at least she's sort of got all her toys here and she can sit here and play with stuff like her fruits and whatnot, which is good. Just a bit of a change of scenery for her. So I've stolen her beanbag at the moment. It's quite comfortable. But yeah, this probably looks like what I'll be doing for another couple of hours. The crew are upstairs, probably just keeping an eye on things. It's actually much more comfortable and nicer upstairs anyway, but yeah, this looks like us for a little while. Hopefully Hudson will have a sleep in a little bit, and then yeah, I can actually officially switch off for a bit. I might even just be able to go and sit outside, hands free. Who knows? Who knows what will come my way on this passage. But so far they're sort of predicting if we're only going 6 knots, it'll probably take us 2.5 days. We're kind of hoping, all the predictions have us going much faster than that, but yeah, we'll just see. We can stop at Wessels if we choose to, which is that'll be about the 2 and a bit day mark, or we can continue on. So we'll just see how everybody's feeling and whether we want to just keep trucking or have a break. But yeah, for now, this is me and Bug and Boo.
Couple of hours into the passage, and the team are having a little bit of a rest.
Bug had a bit of a sleep, now she's just having a cuddle. Boo-Boo is probably the most needy of all of them.
Yeah. Bad news for you, Boo. We got
a long while to go.
Probably 50 odd hours of this, mate. 3 down, 3 hours down.
Wow. And I'm already exhausted.
The sea state's pretty calm at the moment, touch wood. Been tracking along at about 7.5 knots. Wind's dropped off a little bit. We're about 14-15 knots of apparent. We're down to 8, and speed across the ground ring about 6 knots. We've dropped down now, sort of around that 7.5. Wind dropped down, so speed's dropped down, which is alright actually, because we're trying to time it to get into Wessels, which is our stop before Darwin, at daylight, and that was calculated at 7 on 6 knots, so that's not too bad. Even the dishes still have to be done, crossing a passage. Probably about 6 hours into it. And Hudson's decided that she needs to do the dishes, so which is a pretty good idea. Keeps her occupied. We've been motoring along pretty well. Sailing along pretty well. About 8 knots. Wind angle about 90 degrees. The swell's on our side. Swell's just starting to pick up a bit now. You can never see it on the camera. It's probably about 1.5, I suppose. Oh, here comes Boo Boo. Here comes Jess.
I'll plug that in. Sorry.
Boo Boo's going out to the toilet. That's another thing that has to be done on the passage. There's Boo Boo and Jess. Boo Boo doing his business. He's such a good boy. Oh, nice legs, honey. And we're just going to grab some lunch. Lawrence and Lucas, as Grant says. Oh, you got to sit down. She's pretty good.
Hello, little one.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Great. How are you? Is this pleasant? Pretty pleasant so far.
Yeah, just saying that the dishes still need to be done when we're on the way.
Of course, yeah. Sure do.
Alright, let's get some lunch.
Yeah. Oh, well, on the high seas. This is what we get up to.
Oh, we're building a tower, Mum.
Cool. Whoa.
Too high. Oh, that's a high tower, you right?
Good job.
Push it down, you've got to push it down.
Wow. Hey. Boo. Honest to God. He's insane.
You can play a tower too.
Oh my goodness. So, different things to do to amuse her while we're sailing. We've had upstairs, we've had inside, we've had some iPad, we've had back upstairs again, we've had lunch, we've had snacks, now we're building towers. It's a pretty good day out here so far. A little bit of side story. Never tell with the camera, but beautiful.
Place where we can go beyond. So come away with me, nobody has to.
Aren't they unreal? They're all still here. They're all still here. They're just.
I was just calling to see for free to run away.
Wow. Now they're gone.
Tell your friends that you know me safely.
Just under my night shift. Oh, I started about an hour ago. It's about 7:30. Just cruising along here. We've had to tack. Oops, you can see that sort of our little line. You might be able to see it moving around a bit. Tanker right there to our left, and tanker coming down is under there, which is going to get very close to us, so I'm keeping an eye on him. Hope I don't have to tack because we're probably about 140 degrees. I don't know if you can see that. It's not bright enough. Yeah, just cruising along here. Give you an update in a little while. About 20 knots of wind. We're doing about a bit of a swell actually. We're doing about, I don't know, probably around about 7 knots I think. Just tacking our way down the ROM line at the moment.
None of the crew slept, even though everyone's tried to. They had a sleep first, and Craig was upstairs. Then when they came up, it was really quite hectic. So Craig's ended up staying up with them. Yeah, Hudson's been pretty good, which is always nice. That's important, but I just have no idea what the hell I'm going to do with her all day today. It is so rough. You can't even stand up. Everything is being thrown off like shelves and just come out of places that I didn't even know they could come out of. So you're hearing all these bangs on the boat, and then you're hearing like other bangs, and it's other stuff falling everywhere. We've got a sort of side swell at the moment. I think it's sort of hitting us more on the port side, which is the opposite side to where we are. But it's like 3 meters. I don't even know if you can see that. I'll try and get some footage of that from out the window, but it never does justice ever. Our escape hatch is leaking as well in here. It's just constantly smashing water, like it's covered the whole time. So yeah, so it's going to be a long day being halfway across the Gulf. And by all indication, we have probably a lot more of this to go. The original forecast seemed to have it dying off around lunchtime, but we'd have to put Starlink on priority and check that. And to be honest, I think it'll just be heartbreaking to know if it doesn't change, so I don't even want to know. We'll just go with the flow, but hopefully the crew can get some sleep. They've gone down now, and Craig's still up there. But I wish I could help. I just hopeless both at the moment. Yeah, anyway, we'll see how this goes today. I'm really looking forward to hearing the stories of last night. I could see them all out the hatch in here, running around, and God. Anyway, we'll see what we get up to today. Probably not much. Good morning, day 2. Hudson's awoke, and she had a pretty good sleep. I think she stirred a bit. How can you not if you can hear that creaking in the background? That's Hudson's iPad. We've downloaded some stuff on there because we are offline at the moment. We didn't want to put priority data on Starlink just for the iPad. And we are having the breakfast of champions. These were just some little snacks we stashed down the sides here. You know, in case of emergency. It was really meant to be more for the daytime if we had to come down here because it was too lumpy or bumpy or for a nap. But we have been basically stuck down here now. So yeah, we're having salt and vinegar chips and caramel popcorn, which Hudson seems to think is a wonderful breakfast. I did have a banana here, but she wasn't interested in that. So anyway, this is not normally what she would have. And if I could get up safely and get her some food, then trust me, I would. But at the moment, it's quite rolly for me to get up and go upstairs. I couldn't leave her down here on her own because I'd be worried she'd fall off the bed, and I'm not really comfortable carrying her upstairs at the moment. So hopefully, oh, thank you, you're giving those to me. Oh, wonderful, thank you. Sharing. You eat that one. That's for you. Boo Boo has just packed it in. Yeah, he's had enough. He doesn't want any food. He doesn't want anything. He does have a pea mat on the floor, but I'm highly doubting he's going to use that. He likes to use this one outside, but I may have to try to put him on it soon anyway, because it's been quite a while since he's been out. But yeah, apparently this is meant to chill out later on today. I don't know if you can't really see out there, but I don't know, I'm just going to go with it isn't, and we're going to be in here having a pajama party and really sick to death of Mr. Monkey Mechanic by the end of all this. Anyway, day 2 of our passage across the Gulf.
Good morning, here we are. Just clocked over 24 hours. So we have done about 160 nautical miles as the crow flies, but we've done a lot more than that. As you can see, that's our path, the purple path there. So we've probably done almost double that. Obviously the wind's been behind us where it is now, so we've basically had to tack to keep that wind. So that's our path, and that's the way we'll keep going by the looks of it, if the wind and swell stays where it is. So it's pretty big seas, you can't see out there, it's probably, 2 metre swell with probably a metre chop on the top. Been a very uncomfortable night for everyone basically. Well, there you go, I've had my hand over the camera. What a camera expert I am. Lucky Jess does most of the photography. Rolly, bumpy, horrible night, no one slept. But we'll just keep on this tack. These seas are supposed to die down about lunchtime, which would be nice. The wind will come off as well, but I think everyone just needs a bit of a rest from the roly-poly, especially shooting through. Got a few extra creeks on board, I think. Anyway, I'm back on shift, so the guys have gone downstairs, hopefully get some sleep. I told them to sleep in the cockpit, not in their rooms. As a friend of ours once said, sleeping in the rooms on a passage is, obviously the rooms are downstairs in the hulls, is like, you're sleeping there with a whole bunch of people with baseball bats banging the side of the boat, so pretty impossible to sleep. We'll all be buggered this time tomorrow morning, but we should be pretty close to getting in to Wessels, which is our first stop. It was about 330 nautical miles as the crow flies, straight line. We'll end up doing about 420, I think, by the time we get there. Oh, that's a big wave. Okay. Talk soon.
These videos never quite do it justice. I don't know how many times I'll be saying that, but it was pretty yucky out there. We've moved into the second day here, and you can see there's a fair bit of swell around. The boat was handling it pretty well. Crew were doing pretty good at this point, so no one was seasick. Hudson was behaving pretty good. She was, getting used to the fact she wasn't able to move around and run around. We just kind of moved her from one seat or, stationary position to another. But yeah, this sea, it went on and on and on. We didn't end up escaping this type of wave action for the entire journey. So yeah, buckle up. Gulf of Carpentaria, wow. It was everything that I expected. Horrible. But I'll leave you with this, and you guys can just enjoy the sound of the waves and watch this, and hopefully don't get seasick.
We're in the Gulf of Carpentaria, and looks like some sort of Indonesian fishing boat or something. The guy had to call us because we were heading for him. We had to change course, so we had to pull the head tail in. Thanks very much. I thought he was tied onto something, but it looks like he's towing something in reverse. But definitely doesn't look like an Australian fishing boat. Anyway, we'll leave that one to book.
We are about 30 hours in our trip and a little over halfway through. We're going at the moment only 5 knots. We were just up to 10 just before. Wind was around 15 knots.
Oh, we can't see.
Now, but yeah.
Let's go have a look what's happening downstairs. The sea state is not too bad at the moment, although we have quite a bit of swell. This is the cockpit.
So we're stuck in the middle of the Gulf and one of our, looks like our rudder is broken or something, so we can't steer at the moment. So we're still 20 odd hours from our destination and it's rough as guts. So Hudson just woke up, of course, I was trying to help. Yeah, anyway, I'm not really sure what they're going to do or if it's something that can be fixed. They're trying to look at that now. We've got the mainsail up, so we've got to try and get that down without steering in, 20 knot winds. You want to meet in a pair, and I really feel like it's about time I cracked a frickin' rum when this is all over. My God.
While they do crazy things outside, we have Boo Boo and Hudson playing very calmly inside. Oh, Jess is steering.
Yeah, no hands.
Oh,
Autopilot. It's my first time outside for the day and it was not meant to come out for a drama. It would have been nice to come out and relax.
yeah.
But no, I'm just telling Lucas which way he needs to steer to sort of keep us
Oh my
going
God.
on the run line and keep the waves behind us to make it a bit more comfortable so we can surf them rather than getting slapped around. But fun and games.
I'll go film what the guys are doing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Can you just drop off with wires?
Yeah.
Right, just like top it off. No, it does that.
So, replacing the whole arm, are we now?
Well, thank goodness I had a spare pin and a spare bolt. So
Yeah, right.
replacing the whole arm.
Wow. Who would have ever thought that thing would have happened? And we've got some really nice swell behind us and the camera never does it justice. Ever. Lucas is hand steering us here and I get the leisurely spot up here, making sure we're on course, which is probably the easiest job out of all of them. Lawrence probably actually has the hardest one looking after Hudson. But basically all we're doing is trying to follow that line so that we don't end up going backwards on ourselves. And also keeps the swell behind us, but yeah, it's a bit hectic. And just like that, she's back working. And it's not just like that. Wow. There we go. Show us the culprit. Oh my God. We're not having much luck with these screws and pins.
That pin was seized. Pin was seized, so I couldn't knock the pin
Oh
out.
my gosh.
So luckily I had a spare this
oh,
one,
wow.
I had a spare pin, so
Jesus.
luckily I could unscrew that, put the spare on, put the pin through.
Oh my God.
Or else you would have been bugging.
That would have been
no steering.
That would have been a long night for,
Long 3 days.
yeah. Gosh. Wow, teamwork makes the dream work, eh? I better go and relieve poor Lawrence.
Okay, so we're crossing the Gulf and we have some rain now. How great is that?
Just a little bit. Against the boat.
Oh, don't see anything anymore. It's really rough out here.
here we are. Just started my shift. It's about 1 o'clock. Oh, what day is it? Wednesday morning. Wind's dropped right off now. You can see we're doing about probably averaging about 4.5 knots, I suppose. No wind. About 9 knots of wind. We've only got the Carpentaria up at the moment. So we pulled all the sails down when we lost our steering this afternoon, so it's a pretty gnarly passage, lots of big swells, so the autopilot and rudders were doing a lot of work, and we snapped a rudder pin, so no steering. So we can manually steer, so that's not with your steering wheel, it's with a big pole basically, but luckily I had spare parts, so I had a spare pin and a spare, I suppose you'd call it almost like a union joint, so pays to have spares. So took me about an hour to get that out and changed, and then we're back on the course. So we only just put the coaster up because the wind had died down then, and so we're just holding this probably until daylight, and then if it's still light like this from behind us, we'll just throw a spinnaker up to get us in tomorrow lunchtime sometime.
So we're on the home stretch. Goodbye Gulf of Carpentaria. I hope I never ever have to cross that heinous place again. Yeah, we've had quite the sail. Everybody's pretty exhausted, pretty shattered. The boat's taken a little bit of a beating on the way over. All we're waiting for is to see that land on the horizon of Wessels. Originally we were planning on, just seeing Wessels and continuing on, but after this little adventure for the past 3 or 4 days, we have decided that we definitely need a break. So once we see that Wessels in our sights, we'll be pulling around behind that and finding ourselves somewhere lovely to drop that anchor and all just have a day and night of resting and recovery. It's quite a stretch. I didn't think we really took into consideration exactly how long and horrible that particular passage could have been. A lot of people left straight from Thursday Island and went straight over to Indonesia. They were there in 5 days, maybe 6 days, depending on the weather. At the time, we thought that was a little bit too much for us to do in one big run, but now that we've done this particular stint, we're kind of going, we maybe should have just gone straight from Thursday Island, because by the time we do this, after 3 days here, we've got at least another 2 to 3 days just getting across Wessels, and then we have, probably another 2 or 3 days to try to get into Darwin. Then we have to get all the way back out again. So anyway. So the Gulf crossing, that was quite an adventure. I say that now, but at the time it was horrible.
It was a war of attrition.
Oh, it was so misleading. We went in thinking it was going to be really bad because friends of ours did the crossing before and she got sick, and they all got sick. They never get seasick. So we were thinking, oh my God, I was wearing sea bands and whatever because I have to look after Hudson. I thought the last thing I want to do is get sick and then be stuck being sick looking after a child. First day, beautiful. It was really nice all day. The first sail was perfect. I was going, this is amazing, taking sunset photos out of the hatch, thinking it was fantastic, and about half an hour after the sun went down, all went to poop.
Yeah.
It was awful. Awful. And it was
What's his name? Captain Neptune, who's the guy with the trident?
God, he did not like us at all.
Yeah,
we obviously didn't offer him enough.
He thought he'd give us a bit.
Or did he give us a bit? So we had about another 40 hours to go from that point, and it didn't let up really. It was just relentless the whole time. It was like a washing machine, and we broke steering because that broke sheared the steering pin off, which was again it was more age, I suppose. It was under a fair bit of pressure though when you think about it, because it wasn't just swell going this way. It was like hitting here and then here and then here and then here, and
And when the swell's behind you, there's all, and it was a pretty lumpy swell. The boat sort of, goes down
And
the
it
ways.
turns.
So the autopilot's working big time, all the time. So the autopilot's adjusting. So anyway, luckily I had the parts. Thank
It
goodness.
was about an hour fix and quite stressful. Thankfully during daylight hours, which is always nice. Well, as nice as it can be.
But anyway, we fixed that, and we ended up getting to our first stop, which was
Whistles.
Whistles.
Yeah. And after that, we were planning to, if it was all good, we were going to keep going. But after that, 48 odd hours, we decided Whistles was the best place to stop. Everyone had their, was doing night watches. If you were looking over there, because Hudson's in the bed, and Craig and I were. He was on watch. You didn't want to sleep because you were, the crew was always coming to you, which is fair. I would hear things at night that didn't quite sound right, so I was staying awake. It was noisy, so basically nobody slept for like
Jess
2
and I
days.
didn't sleep. The crew got some sleep, and Hudson and Boo Boo. So
Boo Boo didn't have any sleep.
Jess was up in the middle of the night one night, 1 o'clock, pouring rain.
Hello.
Hudson. Do you want to go?
I'll grab Hudson. She's woken up.
And I'm sort of fighting a sail, trying to do attack, and then Jess is up there in her pajamas
in the pouring rain, trying to hold ropes. Crew was sound asleep in their bedroom, didn't hear. Well, and fair enough too. They don't know what to listen for, so I could hear sails flapping and feet running around on the deck.
And Jess is a very light sleeper, if not a non-sleeper.
Yeah.
So am I. So we're both light sleepers, which doesn't work well.
No, well, it does work well when you're doing these sorts of things, because at least we're alert and we're awake. You know what I mean? Not ideal when you're waking up every 2 minutes when you're on anchor, but in sailing, I suppose it's not a bad thing to be, a light sleeper.
So then we jumped from Whistles to Cape Don, which is the top point of Australia.
which is another adventure that you'll be seeing soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the sum up of our Gulf crossing. It was awful, and I don't ever want to go back across that ever. Yeah.
But we did it.
We did do it. We did do it, and we made it. And we dropped the anchor that night, and it felt like all was forgotten, sort of.
Which is.
It usually is. You put the anchor down, and it's like, okay, it all just washes away. But I have made the executive decision that I don't ever want to go back across that. That was just.
I did it.
It was not fun. It was just shallow too, so yuck.
Yeah, it's a washing machine. It's 15, 20.
Yeah, not deep.
30 metres deep, and you think, it's deep, but not compared to the waves coming off 2,000 metres.
Yeah, not good.
Anyway,
it's finished, and we're done. And we're on to the next passage. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for watching, and please support us by clicking the subscribe button below.